Ку-ку-ку. survivor. But I've never seen you in the tower. Were you one of the professor's assistants in the downstairs projects? Did he escape with you? Not without the well, you can't. This is the only one, and the Tuatha were tearing it apart. Hughes is the only one who understands how it worked. Alistair is remote enough that we don't get a lot of visitors. And with our research, fewer visitors means fewer questions. Brilliant idea, the Well of Souls. Plucks dead people out of the ether, rebuilds their body, and brings them back to life. At least that's what it was supposed to do. Guess we'll never know if it worked now. Oh, you mean Aga? He visits Hughes every once in a while. I never could figure out why they got along. He's friendly enough, if a bit odd. You should be able to find him in Gorhart, just down the road, past the ruins. You can't miss it. I just don't understand the Tuatha. I mean, most Fae aren't violent. The wild ones can be, but no more than any forest animal. But the Tuatha are some sort of cult among the Winter Fae. Before they invaded Erether, no one could have imagined the Fae ever marching to war. We all knew Fomerus was a genius, but I'll admit, even I had my doubts about him being able to bring the dead back to life. Guess the Tuatha weren't very pleased that it worked. We should be safe here. At least a little.
I saw you fighting there. We could have used more of you. Did he really have a troll? I don't know how the Tuatha found us, but if they had a troll, it couldn't have been an accident. Fate was kind to collapse that doorway behind you. They would have chased us into the blade. Started building here when they found Prismere in the mines nearby. Never thought we'd see Tuatha this far out west, though. The well was incredible, but it took armloads of Prismere crystals to keep the thing active. That's why we built it so close to the Stone Candle mines. They even put in a few tunnels to deliver the crystals directly into the well. I told them it wasn't safe. Looks like I was right. Again. Fate waivers? Ah, charlatans. You swears by them. But I'll be damned if I trust my future to some cards. They're technically a type of wild fae. Related to the fae of the summer and winter courts, actually. Dangerous enough in the wild. The Tuatha also used them in their army. I never did trust Fae to begin with. Those Tuatha are the worst sort. They waged some sort of holy war against humans and Alpha for years now. But the front's all the way out east. What are they doing out here? How did they know about this place? Hughes ran off, you see. I wouldn't worry too much. The old man's tougher than he looks, and he's always got a plan. luck out there.
Thank Matharu, another survivor. Are there any more? I suppose that's a little bit of kindness from fate. May those still trapped inside rest peacefully. This was supposed to be a nice isolated grove. So much for that. The well was a beautiful dream, an end to death, a cure to tragedy. It would have made war pointless. It could have saved the world. We should have known it was too good to exist. Now our friends have paid the price. You don't see many fate weavers nowadays, but they were very popular when I was a girl. My parents even hired one to advise them on raising my sister and me. But these days, you're lucky if you can find a single fate weaver in a big city. Most have been run out of town. Who knows why the Tuatha hate mortals? Who knows why the Fae do half the things they do? For Moritz Hughes was one of the greatest minds of our generation. The Well of Souls was a dream that was almost too good to come true. Stay safe. We'll be moving soon.
Пойдемте, ты на меня послушай. Или на ассасина. Да, я их повешал.
Да, Алексей?
Да.
Наелся?
Да.
Что без тещи вы делали? Проси это, чтобы наличкой давали, ладно?
Ага.
Зарплату наличку, я аванс наличкой. Но если нельзя, то на мою карту, на жену.
Ага.
Все, из ближайшего края, и мы только одну воду получил братик. Так, все хорошо. И у меня сочинение что-то. Если я буду продолжать, у меня будет хорошая оценка.
I remember you. You're the one. How did you come back? How did you find me here? When I saw you with Edsel in the well, I ran. But it wasn't because I was afraid. I was coming to report that Hughes' experiment had succeeded. The Well of Souls is bigger than just one gnome's pet project. My contact pays well for information about its progress. I just send reports to make some money on the side. But I don't know how the Tuatha found out. This has nothing to do with them. I never wanted anyone to get hurt.
Ты веселый выжил. Ты что, выжил?
Ну вон. Оно прямо сейчас идет.
Зачем?
Не знаю. Просто так. А, никто не смотрит, да? Никто не смотрит.
Зачем? Зачем?
Просто тестируем. Как это работает.
Ты чё? Подожди, ты хочешь, чтобы на тебя подписались, как у меня, да? Ну, понимаешь, тебе так подписчиков не будет. Людям, знаешь, сколько нужно? Очень. Они хотят от тебя много видео, а ты одно посылаешь.
Это со своего аккаунта?
Нет.
Получается, я сам себя смотрю.
У меня 122 подписчика. Не будет снять. Это ж
I never meant for anyone to get hurt. But at this point, what's a little more blood on my hands?
Я могу на тебя. Как это называется?
Может, как-то это по-другому сделать.
Я хочу Алексея пробовать. я просто знаю.
Да просто так. Ну, ты с моего канала, да?
Угу. Я хотел проверить, поставили на полочку. Ключик. Делает. Позиция. Вот. Все. Я буду на тебя быстро писать.
Прикольно. Будешь, например, захочешь Fortnite. Ну только нас через свой канал. Да?
Боже, ты меня испугала.
Тоже камеру можно использовать.
Я хочу мороженое ем.
Просто решил попробовать, как это делать. Чтобы он канал мог не поменять. Через настройки. Потом даже никто не смотрит. Ноль. Ты что, комментарий пишешь? Это ты комментарий написал? Молодец.
Ты что, подписчиков хочешь?
Да я не знаю. Я просто пробую. Сейчас все равно это никому не интересно. Куда хоть? Это что было? А, это как? Вот как. Да. Да. Как я сейчас этой штукой понимаю? Будет очень не больно.
Что занимаешься? Что делаешь?
Играю.
А что мне тут снимаешь?
игру.
Так нас записывают?
Да. Я так просто тестирую. Ее даже никто не смотрит. Лишь 0 просмотров.
Да я захотел.
Да. А, тихо. А? Так, дороже смелее. Всплеск адреналина. Клик. Что случилось?
Не работает.
Как?
Ну так.
Что я засорил, что ли? Написано уехал. Да. В этом-то машина, ой, на автомойку-то я ходил, там все чистые работают. Ой, я же не пойду в таком. Там все чистые, потом машины водой моют они. Короче, ты поняла. Хорошо. Веська! А? Так меня когда Юля сегодня привлекала, это типа ремонтировать.
Это фигня, мама сказала, ты еще денег будешь. Они просто, они тебе могут вот кидануть на денежки. Работаешь, и выйдут. Это же от процента идет, понимаешь? Поэтому деньги.
А потому что знаешь, как он ремонтирует? Он, блин, начинает говорить, да все не важно, давай все стираем, короче. Я говорю, блин, я говорю, подожди, мне важно не то, что, ну, как бы мне важно, конечно, как работает компьютер. Все, что в нем не находится, все тоже важно. Он мне начинает убеждать, да блин, главное, чтобы компьютер работал. Такие же, так он же ради чего-то работает, понимаешь? Да, как-то так. Кто ушел? Первый раз видит ролик. Очень профессионально, очень некачественно.
Куда ты конечно идешь, а? Знаешь, что я прочитала? Сделать кое-что новое. Посмотри, какой красивый заяц. Там по страницам все. То в 76, вроде отец нас.
Витька. Скоро гулять. Маленькая девочка.
Ваш сок приехал. Будете сок? Это что за ноги? Я не поняла. Ну, здравствуйте. Да.
Ее положить надо как-то.
На, бери сама. Учись сама. На. Нет, нет. Нет. А ручки зачем тебе? Красота. Так, бери сама. Ручками учимся. Держи сама. Сама. Вот, видишь, сама можешь.
То, что такое.
You've come from the tower, haven't you? Name's Agar. Maybe you can help an old fate weaver, eh? Fate weavers look at the great tapestry of fate. The threads will tell us how a life will unfold. But knowing the future and being able to change it are two very different things. Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now.
When he started his experiments here, he asked me if they'd ever be successful. The cards told me that the Well of Souls would work, but its success would come on the day that Hughes was to die. The old man took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that. You're the one. Then that means it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming. Prepare for a reckoning. Going to perish, mortal. What? How? What are you? The threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that? Hughes may have brought you back to life, but that was still part of fate's plan. Nothing short of a god can do what you did. Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death. It's a gift. Some people paint landscapes. Other people write poetry. I peer into the weave of fate's tapestry and see people's deaths. That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for fate's plan, unlike most gnomes. You're nervous. Relax. This is what Fate Weavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or, at least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much. Fate's weave is always hard to see. It's in motion, hard to make out, but undeniably there. Yours is just missing. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. This is true, and I'm not saying I believe it. And your path is yours to determine.
I can see the threads around you, but they're shifting, changing so rapidly, I can't make sense of it. Normally the threads would guide my hand to the cards, and I'd use those cards to see your pattern in the weave. But it just didn't happen. They wouldn't focus. So either there's something wrong with me, and there isn't, or there's something very wrong with you. It could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that, or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings, but we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tapestry. I'll meet you at his home to the east. I'm going to see if I can be of any help to the wounded at the tower. Once I was Agarth the Unyielding, the Blade of Avgrim. I wrestled the Colossus priestess and declined knighthood by the High King of the Fae. I was a hero of men, but that wasn't enough for me. I joined the Fate Weavers, hoping to find a way to conquer destiny itself. Turns out fate is the one thing I couldn't fight. You can find Arden's little cottage in the middle of Yulven. Had to move there when he got run out of town. He's a damned good Fate Weaver, but that doesn't make you very popular. Especially not in dark days like these. We are all threads in the tapestry of fate. Measured, woven, and cut according to a great plan. Fate Weavers undertake the task of reading those threads. Our title always was a bitter lie, since we have no control over how that tapestry is woven. But you do. And when a Fate Weaver looks at your place in the weave, we see only the shapes of what you may choose to become. The Fate Weavers were once a great, unified order of sages from all the mortal races. We foretold the destinies of kings and gods. But that power takes a toll. Nobody likes bad news. And all the news in the world is getting worse. The Order splintered long ago. Now the old traditions are all but lost. And all I foretell is the fate of my beer. And I see it being emptied soon. The Tuatha aren't like any Fae I've ever known. They're cruel, bloodthirsty, and savage. Why, they're practically human. Hughes was always an odd one. Curious and determined as any of his kind, sure. He never shut up about his work. But he always knew what was important. He didn't worry about dying as long as he knew he'd get the well working. That's just it. I don't know if you've got one, but that's why we're going to see Arden. He lives in a little hut to the east in Yulven. I'll meet you there. What could this all mean?
У тебя мозги вообще есть? Ну прямо. Машинка не хочет работать для тебя.
Работает.
Леша, эта машинка, знаешь, сколько денег стоит? Да где? Я вот уже отжим нажала. Если что-то не будет, я не знаю, как вытаскивать. Подождать не могу.
Of all the songs in halls of lore, there echoes none more grand than Olin's many feats of might, the pure and lady of the light. She is a knight of golden knot. She is a cure seeker, the conscience of the summer fae, She is the heart of spring, of day.
Everyone just stand back. The warden can't work when you're crowding so close. Go back to your business. Go on.
If I have to listen to that Sister Zelda
Nothing to see back here. Just a man working for his pay. We in Gore like to stay focused on our business. That way the Fae stay focused on theirs.
Потом смотри, будет.
Suits my needs just fine. It's remote, away from the shadows of the crystal wall. It's also quiet. Most of the time. If there was ever a reason to believe that Fae and mortals cannot live together, it is this strange and brutal war. The Alpha fight without any true knowledge of the enemy they face. I've seen this kind of conflict before and it never ends well. Gorhart's is an Almain settlement, so you won't find too many Alpha here. They tend to stay close to Rathia, their city on the coast. I don't mind them. I'd rather not talk about it. My past is a murky place. It's better not to enter unless you wish to get lost there. The peace between mortals and the Fae is a passing one. They will always see us as occupiers of this land. We borrow what can never be given. Those fools in that mission on the hill are wasting their days. Creatures of such power do not worship gods. They are gods.
Their goal is to convince the Fae of their folly. But one cannot reason with the sunrise, ask the wind to cease its chill. You should speak with them if you haven't already. They are a sorry lot, and their numbers dwindle. Men forsake their faith and disappear into the woods, or worse. Aye. If you haven't spoken to Arnik Arduna, you should. He's a friendly sort, not like most Alpha.
Keep moving. This business doesn't concern you. Unless you're an expert scholar on the Fae, I'd suggest you move along. No reason to be out in the open with the Red Legion about. Bandits, but no ordinary bandits. Surely you've heard of Red, the dead Idward. They say he drinks the blood of his captives, that he consumes their souls. Or perhaps those are just rumors. You should be fine if you stay inside the village. Once you go beyond the boundaries of Gorhart, however, your life is in your hands. Are you playing a trick on me? I would hope so. We're going on 10 years of the mortals and the Dwarf locked in a deadly embrace. Normally, I'd decry the bloodshed, but this is a conflict that we cannot afford to lose. The Brothers of St. Odwig's are an odd sort, scurrying back and forth across the mission like squirrels gathering nuts. I wonder what goes on behind those closed doors. I don't know if you noticed, but St. Odwig's mission closed its gate moments before that Fae's body turned up on the road. I don't like what that suggests. Not at all. I'd never seen one of them until a day or so ago. It appears that a small group of warriors ventured inland to strike behind our lines. Believe the stories, friend. The Dwarf are mad. They have been touched by a dark magic. They are wholly corrupted, and they are the enemy. What are they? I'm not sure, but they've been here for longer than any of us can imagine. They're older than the trees. They have to be. They grew them. Humans and immortals cannot live together in peace, at least not forever. The peace we have with the Summer Court is unnatural. That's my opinion. You might call it a Fae nation, one of two united factions that rule their kind. The Summer Court are not exactly allies, but they do let us be, most of the time. It's the other Fae, the Winter Court, that has spawned the dreaded Tuatha, a vicious clan of killers who wish to defeat and enslave all mortals.
I don't care what year it is. It's a tragedy whenever anyone's savage like this. Just look at the poor creature. She's been beaten to the brink of death. The Fae may be strange, but they certainly don't deserve this. I'm the Warden of Gorhart, and a poor one at that. I've been back from the war for only 6 months and been Warden for less than 2. Now here I am with an injured Fae on my doorstep. I'm a disgrace. We keep a precarious peace with the Court of Summer, one that's tested every day. I lie awake at night worrying what kind of disaster awaits me in the morning. But we're a good community full of good people. We have our eccentrics, sure, but we work hard and live quietly. It's the best anyone can do these days. I've seen many bandit clans in the Crystal War and back home, but these men are a particular breed. They like their victims weak and bloody. The Red Legion has been a presence in the area for several weeks now. Our people are scared to show their faces after dark. Our fate rests in the hands of a few chosen who fight in the east. You wouldn't even know it in Gorhart. They're miles away from the smoke and the screams.
Я буду. Я еще раз не против.
Led by a king in a faraway city, hidden from mortal eyes. That's about all I know. Little more than rumors and stories from my youth. I don't know what the Tuatha will be doing this far from the front lines. It must be something vital to their interests. They're a wicked breed, though, and I pity the man who meets up with them in these darkened forests.
Пая, папа. Папа, скажи, папа.
I've spent most of my life dealing with them. They aren't like us. Not at the core. They don't know what it means to be a man who sweats to feed his family. Goreheart has become a sort of refuge for those settlers who wish to live a life free of Fae. I don't see that lasting. Not with the war. Not with everything changing.
Ваша третья буква.
It appears she was attacked with some manner of short blade. Likely a dagger, although there's no way I can be sure. People simply stood by as she called for help. No one lifted a finger. Can you imagine? It's shameful to treat another in such a way, even if she is a Fae. I don't know whether we possess the knowledge to treat such a wound.
Чего?
Frankly, I don't even know if I could save a mortal with such grievous wounds. It's difficult to say. We've been plagued by the Red Legion for days, but it's not their way to go after the Fae in the area. They like their targets mortal. In case you haven't heard, there have been some Tuatha sighting in the woods to the west, so that's also a possibility. It's unlikely, though. Well, you're the only one. With all the troubles we've suffered in this village, people are weary of adversity. They'd rather just ignore it. I'm going to suggest something a bit untraditional. There's a Fae named Derry. She spends her days up on the hill overlooking the village. Seek her wisdom. I would do it, but I am a coward. That's the truth. Perhaps a Fae will know how to heal a Fae. If not, then we're back where we started. She spends her days on the precipice overlooking the village. She doesn't think we're aware of her presence, but we most certainly are. Hope you stay in town.
А подождите. Я уже вон куда в душу какую-то попал. Подожди.
I hope the woman was able to heal that Fae girl.
What kind of animal would join the Red Legion?
Ah, damn bandits. Watch your satchel.
Лидка, зачем нашла? Девочкой. Так, книжку убираем. Это убираем. Папа, я не знаю, что листка такая
Да. Я так рад.
Arnick Arduna isn't like other house and farm. He's friendly, not like his icy brethren.
Сейчас. Сейчас я с этой деревни уберусь.
Посмотрим, что там еще. Видно. Какой игрушка. Олечка, еще одну я игру. Еще. Сколько ты всего себе нашла, да? Ведь много игрушек сестра нашла, да, Лиска? смотри. Папа, смотри, сколько я игрушек нашла под вашей диван.
Ага. Классно.
Не
Видишь,
стыдно?
сколько игрушек у твоих нашли, которые ты под диван закинула.
В смысле, она?
Кто еще?
Вы.
Ты.
В смысле я?
Ты закинул.
А что ты я должна
Классненько.
Я еще игрушку нашла. Лиза. Знаешь, кого я нашла? Смотри, Лиза, кого я нашла. Это же твоя Маша. Это же Маша твоя.
Нашли Машу?
Да.
Ну-ка, включай. Бумажку нашли.
Да вот твоя Маша. Ты рада? Твою Машку нашла. Машку я твою нашла, да? Да. Сестра Машу нашла. Твою любимую, да? Малышка. Так, сейчас дам тебе твою Машу.
Никаких фоток из WhatsApp не удаляй, поняла?
Окей.
Тоня, макароны будешь кушать?
Нет. Вот твоя Маша. Ты рада? Ты рада? Смотри, как я нашла. Даже Машку нашла, смотри.
Следующий.
Твоя? Это твоя? Ой, какая радостная, что Машку нашли. На свою Машку. Держи. Смотри, какая радость. Что Машку нашла, дочь.
На, Франки, капай. Быстрее прошел до вторника.
Смотри, как радуется, что Машу нашли.
Ой, а что это у тебя еще?
Смотри, сколько я ее нахожу. Давай вставай, хватит лежать. Мама, смотри, что я нашла ее. Вот смотри.
Дом, ты смотри, сколько игр.
Мама, смотри. Смотри, что я нашла. Мама. Смотри, что я нашла. Рыбку. Вот это. Вот это. Кто туда это смотрит? Ой, сестре бугая, давай. Ой, молодец.
Да, смотри, сейчас ее мелодию учим.
Ну что тут я еще найду?
Сейчас я любимый сразу будет.
Ну зачем ты ее переключаешь?
На.
Ой,
Ой, давай сюда. Давай, ничего себе. Тут он накидал еще. Лизка. А вы помните, что ты рядом с Лизкой? Лиз,
Я
смотри.
даже десятку нашла. Я даже 10 рублей там нашла.
Что она не играет?
When the scholars in the tower ordered me to
Да ты
leave
что
the
тут уже
grounds,
палата?
I took refuge here.
Соня
The Almain
пришла.
are a private
Я
people,
даже ее не
keen to
трогала.
keep to themselves, like me.
Мама, я даже там 10 рублей нашла.
Давай
They are the
сюда.
Мне
undying,
тоже.
the corrupted roots.
Ну,
Their
собирай.
existence is an
Мне
abomination.
собирай себе 100 рублей.
Everything in Amalur exists for a particular reason.
Ай, опять ты давай.
All that seems frivolous now, what with the war looming over us. Now I spend my sleepless nights in search of a formula that will end such conflicts
Мама,
forever.
ладно, держи.
Да на тебе.
Да на.
Папа, 10 рублей нашли. Твои или мои?
Why ask questions when you could never understand the answers? It's clear
можно
your
листку?
prowess is not with wit, but with a weapon.
Кто
You
пукает?
must know.
Ой,
Something of value
ой,
has
ой,
been
ой, ой,
stolen.
ой, ой.
An
Куда
alchemical
пошла?
formula that, if
Давай.
released, could cause untold devastation.
Ой, красотушки, маленькая Лиза, красота, красота. А три татушки, маленькая Лиза. Куда пойдет эта Лиза? Сейчас пойдет Лиза по ряду бабушки наводить, да? Да.
To say more would be to reveal my secrets. All I can say is that it involves lesions, goiters, and a good deal of pus. His name was Karth Wilfred. I found him one morning outside my door, peeking through the ember eyes. I was impressed how well he knew his way around the plant. I've never seen one so eager to learn.
Чего? Это
I do
что
not
ты?
deserve such goodwill after what I've engineered. If disaster occurs in Odera,
Лиза, я
it will be
какого-то
on my
петуха
head.
твоего нашла.
I'm not sure where Karth may have gone, but I knew that before he came to me, he found shelter in the ancient chambers of Amalur an Irathi ruin east of Gorhart. Once you've ensured Karth's safety, you must learn what's happened to my formula. When you do, destroy it. It's the only way to keep us
Вот не
safe.
будем играть.
The villagers believe it's haunted, but I have a feeling that's a ruse devised by the Red Legion. They mean to terrorize these people into submission, and it's working. I fear for his life. Karth was gifted in a way that I've witnessed in only a select few. If the Red Legion has him, there's no telling of how he'll be treated. He always spoke of his time as a wastrel living in the abandoned halls of Agnor Farhall, the Iraqi ruin. People say it's haunted, but people see many things. Farewell.
Уже много чего. Вау. Смотри, что я нашла. Все старую балалайку. Кстати, будешь поливать. Да, папа будет поливать, когда купаться будешь. Да?
Потом накупаю. Когда-нибудь.
А, еще одну нашла. Ничего себе. Мам, иди сюда. Я свою Скай нашла. А я тебя так долго искала, Скай. Я кое-что свое нашла.
Это вы что, в игре, что ли? Я не понимаю.
Мам, иди сюда.
В какой игре?
Вы в игре, что ли, как ищете, да?
Что нашел?
Смотри. Мои старые.
Что твой старый?
Мои вот эти.
Это нет, это нам отдавали.
Да?
Да.
А где?
Твои уже выкинули. А что в мешке ты находишь там?
А вдруг там что-то интересное, например, искать?
Лидка!
Я так долго искала свою вот эту игрушку. Скай. Я же какого-то петуха ледяного нашла.
Лидка, у тебя вон сколько игрушек. Все, в детский мир-то не пойдем. По интернету только заказывают.
Детский мир закрыт?
Вы серьезно?
По штрих-коду.
Магазин?
Торговый центр, все закрыты, магазины отдельно. Только для этих, кто привит.
Я твоего
Когда?
мишку нашла.
11 ноября все закрыли. Только в сети Гурме можешь ходить и по
Я
аптеку.
новогодний шар нашла. А кто сюда все запихал? Всякое нужное. А я думала, искала. Ну что сюда всё? Уже много чего, на него. Гирлянды.
Петушок золотой, гребешок, ой, гребешок, ой, гребешок. Так, иди купать, давай мальчики туда, для компьютера.
Ну что сюда тоже? Моя резинка. Тут все такое нужное.
Здравствуйте, я ваша няня. Встречайте меня. Агу. Ты же, мама, ты с ума сошла?
Пап, ты это никогда не искал бы?
Зарядник.
Хорошая вещь, надо сказать. Алексей, как вам маячки?
О,
Я похожа на няню? Я
О,
буду
мам,
мучить
смотри,
эту
что
девочку.
Мама.
Вот так.
мама, смотри.
Что это? А что это?
Ну, это лиски.
А что это?
Ну,
А, давай сюда. Тоже. Я же покупала ей специально.
и сюда
Зубы
запихала.
Лизка, смотри, что мама тебе
И
нашла.
шоколадку я нашла какую-то с письмами.
Сейчас промоет мама и даст тебе.
Какой шоколадку? С жеванием. Хочешь?
Давай.
Что сюда? Нужно тоже. Вот ты что еще нашла? Шоколадные монетки. А вы что сюда все ложите-то?
Валя, ты что там напихала-то?
Мои часы.
Я ничего не ложила туда.
А кто сюда все ложил?
Папа.
Это
Это мои часы.
которые Серега подарил?
Нет,
Это Леха мне подарил.
Соня, она кому-то продала.
Это мои
Да,
часы.
твоя соца, новая.
Денег тут много. Вы чё, окупили?
Так это точить зубы твои, на.
Не знаю, я точно не дурак, чтобы все в мешок складывать.
Нет, ты дурак и все складываешь в мешок.
Мама, я тут...
А что ты за свинарник
очень
здесь
хорошо.
устроил? Ну-ка, давай-ка.
Иди отсюда.
Я сейчас
Пап,
швабру
я еще
возьму.
одну шоколадку нашла.
Алексей, наведи порядок. Это что такое за свинарник здесь?
Да уйди!
Это стол для свинарника?
Уйди!
Не уйду, пока не уберешь. Давай, разбирайся.
Тебя сейчас люди могут начать смотреть. Тут уже человек 10 заходило.
Ничего.
Все повыходили. Из-за шума, видимо.
Ты что намекаешь?
Да что ты, блин, с тобой в Ютубе точно не заработаешь денег.
Не работаешь.
Ты бытовухой своей все испоганишь.
Там ты бытовухой все испоганишь.
Я даже мешок с деньгами нашла.
Сколько? Дай посчитай.
Да хрена.
Я сама посчитаю. Я не знаю.
Нет, ты деловая, ты у нас в комнате находишь деньги и будешь сама считать.
Так, может быть, это мешок я все туда ложу.
Искра? Да, вот так вот берешь, это зубки точить, зубки, чтобы, да, вот так вот так.
Видите, какая молодец?
Все, давай, это твоя соцка. Мама купила же тебе. Да, для тебя же купили.
Ну что, я молодец. Все, вот этого нашла.
Молодец.
Молодец. Еще бы миллион нашла бы, вообще было, извините.
Мама, у нас дома миллион не найти.
А может, кольцо мое найдешь?
А где найду?
С бриллиантами. Папа мне дарил.
А куда ты
Красиво.
его делал, я не понимаю.
Здесь лежала где-то, кто-то взял.
Куда он лежал?
В каком году? Колечко пропало.
В 18-м.
В 18 году.
О, 5 рублей уже вижу. Мам! Короче, на. Тебе накрыли, вдруг что-то это.
Возьми.
Все для вас.
Мгм.
Это ж надо было шоколад. Тем более,
Welcome
мои
to
часы.
Gorhart, the last settlement
Я
before
все
the
время
Phalanx.
искала свои часы.
Can I fill your pack today?
Купили. Скай Далевички. Это себе. Сколько я вещей тут насчитала. Ну, кукарек. И что? Я еще найду.
Так, Соня, мы смс не удаляем. Там это график. Нет? Сообщение. Понятно?
Миска. У тебя столько вещей.
Поняла меня?
Да поняла я.
Переписку не удалять надо.
You will find it settled on a small lake beside the eastern road. Compared to Gorhart, Didenhill could be called a city. Some call it the Camp of Cowards, on account of it being settled by those who refuse to enter the forest. Can you blame them? Never trust a wood that whispers. There's Nettie the smith, and Nanny handles potions and remedies. The inn's across the way if you fancy a pint. Keep an eye out for the Red Legion. Oh, I doubt it's an organized group. More likely that it's one scared idiot with a knife. I heard someone in the village mention the Red Legion, but that can't be true. The Alfar and the Tuatha have been at each other's throats for nearly a decade now. I can't remember the reason. I wonder if they can, the fools. Me? Widowed, going on 5 years now. All my boys were taken by the Tuatha. Both sons, my brother, and my beloved Avery. It business this way. I refuse to speak of them. Please respect my wishes.
Иська. Турбулет. 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 Сейчас. Дать-то. Что бы тебе дать? Где соска? Я. Блядь.
I told you, I will say no more on this matter. The Fae are elemental creatures, magical and strange. None too considerate of us mortals either. They see us like pets, or worse, like bugs. It's best that you stay out of the eastern forest. I've seen things you can't even imagine. The road is dark and dangerous, and it's a long hike to Didenhill. Goodbye. Hello. Yes. What do you need?
Забыл. Ну что-то купить хотел. Да.
Что ты тут куда?
Да, потому что она орать начала.
Пусть привыкает к этой. Ей же надо зубки чьи-то счить. Иду! А я пошла с этим. С этим пошла купать. Все, пока я с этим пошла купать. Да. Мы динозавриков вырастаем.
Come see me again. Yes.
Ты давно кому?
Нет.
Are you here for a weapon? Going to earn a lord's favor in this ridiculous war, are you?
Кушать будем? Ам-ам-ам.
Ам-ам-ам, будем?
Ты королева?
Troublesome creatures, the Alpha. No doubt this war is a result of their meddling in the affairs of others. Look around you. These are no mere woods. This is the heart of the Feylands. Once you enter the forest, you won't emerge again until you reach the plains. We here in Gorehart are far from the front, and deliberately so. Our hearts may be with the Alfar, but our bodies stay here, safe on the other side of Dalentarth. We've seen our fair share of dead. The truth is, we have as many cemeteries as we do settlements. It is an Alfar stronghold in the east, and if the reports from the front are to be believed, Melsenshir is all that stands between the Tuatha and us. I intended to pledge my sword to the Alfar, to fight the blasted Tuatha. Had my helmet freshly polished, my sword sharpened to a deadly edge. Then I saw the carts headed west. They carried the corpses of the fallen, some all the way from Melsenshir. After that, my fire to fight went out. Forever. I was raised to know weapons before anything else. You won't meet many women who could fashion arrow fletchings before they could speak. I hear their warriors die as easily as any others, only they don't stay dead. That can be a problem during wartime. The Fae are one with this land in ways that no mortal race could ever be. They are true creatures of magic. Leave the village, walk 50 paces in any direction, and you'll find a Fae. Say it's a friendly one. I'll be here.
I thought about searching for treasure in that nearby Arathi ruin at your farm.
Так.
А заходишь ты туда через первый этаж.
Больше это не несколько. Потому что несколько закончила.
На, тише. Вот,
I don't trust those brothers of St. Oswald's. What are they hiding behind those stones?
What's this? Times are hard, but hard times can pay if you're willing to take risks. If you have the sword and stomach for this sort of work, we could use another strong arm among the warsworn. Peaceful enough, if it's peace and quiet you like. Trouble with bandits and rogues now and then, that's when they send for me. That's me, warsworn since before you've been drawing breath. An oathblade near as long. Easy now, stripling. Earn your way to Pledge Shield first. Then, in 5 or 10 years' good service, you'll make Oathblade. There's a war in the east, and Dalentarth's got our own troubles with the Red Legion thieves. Some say they've seen Tuatha in these parts. Fools. I'll believe that when I see it. What have you been living under? We've been at war with the Tuatha for 15 years. A name taken by some lot of scoundrels to glorify their thievery. A name breeds fear and doesn't die like a man. But killing the men who use the name is a start, eh? They're unlike any fae you've ever seen. red eyes to match their armor, and fierce as rabid wolves.
Ичка.
Fae are folk, but not mortal folk. They're not concerned with the things we mortals are. Some may try to color it with fancy words, but they're warriors for hire, the best in these lands. You'll find those who have taken the oath are held in the highest respect all over Amalur. You could head straight to Shieldring Keep and pledge your sword. Might work, but a commendation from me would carry a lot of weight. To earn it, you must do something commendable. There are two brothers, scoundrels of the Red Legion, named Osgar and Medgar Krast. Bring me proof you've dealt with them. I'll pay in coin and my good word. We've had our eyes on those two for some time. Red Legion scum. They're both dangerous, but it may help to know Oscar favors the bow, while Medgar favors the spear.
Алексей, машину надо осторожненько мыть, потому что если ты поцарапаешь машину, летишь на большие-большие бабки. Понятно? Кристина сказала. На автомойке надо мыть нормальную машину. Если будет какая-то там с тебя деньги будут еще. Летишь?
We're fighters for hire. There are none better with steel, swinging it, or shaping it, and none held in higher regard. Osgar hides somewhere in the woods north of here. Medgar was last seen east of his brother's camp. Bring me their Legion daggers, and I'll pay with coin, and a commendation to join the order. Right then.
Come in. Rest your boots by the fire, and drown your worries in a flagon of our finest. I am Arnik Arduna, and this is the famous Gorhart Inn. The lifestyle of a soldier did not suit me. Unlike many of my brethren, I wish to celebrate with others, not kill them. Starting a public house seemed the logical step. Established 70 years ago by the great Alden Gorhart, this inn was the first all-main structure in all of Dalantarth. I won it from him in a game of knuckles. Dida serves the finest ales, and upstairs you'll find Katrin the healer. Here's some advice. Avoid Nanny Henry. I don't know what she's brewing in her little shack. We can offer you a place to rest and refresh yourself. Interested? We're here to serve. Don't you bother yourself with that. Gorhart is safe. Our greatest concern is passing the time. Don't worry about that, my friend. Don't let the concerns of our local warden trouble you. You're here as a guest. There is no Red Legion. And if there was, it certainly wouldn't be out here in Gorhart. Stick around.
Pull up a stool, stranger. We don't have much, but what we have won't leave a hole in your pocket. Are you here about that Fae girl they found outside? New to the area? I don't recall the last time I met someone who was unfamiliar with the Alpha. There are two groups. There used to be one, but that was many years ago. The Losulfar are cool, slightly aloof.
The Doppelfar, however, are very friendly, but their charm masks a mischievous nature. I've worked here since I was a girl. Arnik runs an honest business, and Agnar treats me like a daughter, though he doesn't say much. If you need a healer's touch, Katrin works out of a room upstairs. She's Alfar, but I wouldn't hold that against her. It's as good a place as any, I guess. The Fae are strange, but they rarely bother us down here. I worry more about Nanny Henry, the creepy old alchemist. Nothing of interest to tell. I'm just a simple farm girl from the plains of Erethel. I left home as a girl and travelled west. Found myself here in Gorhart. I must be honest, sometimes I forget who we are fighting. All I know is that the humans and Alfar have been battling the enemy for close to 10 years now. The mission? I don't know much about it. I will say this, it's a waste of good lads, that Order of Nitharu. Not many available suitors in Gorhart, if you haven't noticed. Vast rolling hills east of here near the coast. You should head that way if you wish to join the war effort. The Alfar need all the help they can get. I feel terrible about what happened to that girl. Gorhart used to be a nice little village. These days we're jumping at shadows. All I know is what I've heard from others. They say that the fair folk possess powerful nature magic. That would explain the beauty of these woods. Don't be a stranger. The Red Legion is about. Best to sleep with your sword.
Damn bandits. Watch your satchel.
The mission has locked its doors.
Theda sells potions at the inn, but they're not cheap.
The Fae are watching.
Thankfully, the war is far from here. Did you hear that Nanny's apprentice Karth disappeared?
I wish the village wasn't so near to hanging far. You know it's haunted, don't you?
I am Katrin. Do you require my healing touch in mind, body, or both? The Gnome's Tower stands to the west, past Gorhart and beyond the ruins of Alistar Glade. However, no one should seek Alistar. Its secrets should be kept. The forests of this region are one of the densest in all of Amalur, and the stretch from Alistar to Isa. Those of us who live in the shadow of its canopy call Dalantarth the Feylands, because this is where these fair folk have their seat of power. This has been my home ever since my love was taken by the Tuatha. After such a loss, one craves quiet. But it seems that the war has followed me here. I buried everything I was when I buried my family. That is the war's legacy for many of us. That is all I have the strength to say. I am unable to watch while others suffer. Too many mortals have fallen prey to the Tuatha, and I could not stomach it. So I left my home in Rathir and traveled west. There are many Almain villages just like this one, yearning for peace, crying out in pain. What good are my gifts if I cannot make what is broken whole again? The Almain were once different tribes that recently banded together to form an empire. They are formidable creatures, but new to the way of magic. I require a nominal fee only so I may eat and have a bed to call my own. The glorious Alfar city to the east is where the forces of right gather to face the Tuatha. It is an enchanting place with a long history of magic. Magic is a natural wonder, no matter how you use it. The Tuatha are the exception. Their power is tainted, and it has caused a grave imbalance. Find the fair folk if you wish to learn the ways of magic. They understand this world in a way that is hidden from mortals. You will find many Fae in Dalantarth, as it is one of their ancestral homes. Be safe.
Welcome to Gorhard.
I thought about searching for treasure and that. I don't remember though. Believe me, the attack has me spooked. I'm not even a proper warden, just a volunteer. I'll stick to jail duty. At least there, the criminals are behind locked doors. My cousin is Herc Adward, the village warden. You might have met him. Herc asked me to move to Gorhard to help him keep the peace. I've only been here a few days, and look what I'm up against. Red Legion, Tuatha, and bodies lying in the road. I'm off to a grand start. Our guests aren't the wickedest breed you'll find in these forests, but they're bad enough to earn a spot in my collection. Stay clear, that's an order.
I'm not accustomed to all of this excitement. It was difficult enough to adjust to life during wartime. Now we have to be on our guard for Tuatha right here in our own home. What is this world coming to? My experience is limited to Arnik Arjuna and Katrin Orway. They seem the same as any of the rest of us. Wiser, perhaps, but decent, hard-working folk. I was born and raised right here in the village. Well, not in Gorhard proper, but on a farmstead outside the village boundaries. It was a good life. Before the war, of course. I was a miller's love who became a miller's wife. Now I am the wife of a soldier. My duty is to hold vigil for my beloved and for all our men on the lines. Truth be told, I know nothing of why the Tuatha are at war with the Alfar, nor why men fight the way they do. All I know is who picks up the pieces. The Tuatha's madness infected the Winter Court. All Fae existed peacefully for centuries, until the Tuatha got involved. It's sad. I'm hardly a scholar, but I can tell you what I know. There are two Fae factions, the gentle Court of Summer and its coarser cousin, the Court of Winter. As a child, we were told stories of their ancient rivalry. These are surely myths, but enough to scare a young girl. In the last few years, the Court of Winter has fallen, corrupted by a group of powerful Fae called the Tuatha. It's the Tuatha we fight, and the Tuatha we will defeat. It's strange. Those old birds have been perched on that hill for as long as I can remember, staring down over the rest of us in the village like hawks. I know so little about them. I don't even know their names. It's my understanding that they were once members of the Court of Winter, and Fae like any other. But something dark lured them, took them, and twisted them in its grip. I would think they were a myth if not for the Tuatha. The Fae keep far from us. Perhaps they view us as intruders in their lands. Perhaps they disapprove of our civilized ways. Perhaps they know something we don't. I fear that most of all. Farewell.
Whatever you do, avoid the monks of St. Odward's Perpetual. They deal in lies and false tenets. Their light of hope will leave you in shadow. You don't know. It is less a mission than a fortress of deception, a citadel of lies. It throws its menacing shadow over all of Gorehart. Father Dinwell will try to defend his cause, but he is simply a soldier, marching to the orders passed down to him. None of them have minds of their own. He would be a good man if he could see past the rigidity of his faith. Mitharu embraces all, not simply those that the Church deems worthy. She was wronged by someone in this village. That is an injustice I can understand. By its appearance, you'd assume Gorehart is a pleasant place. Never make assumptions. It is the name I chose when I baptized myself in the clear waters of Mitharu. I have undergone the ordination rites, and am as legitimate as any monk. If such creatures were not part of the authorities' plan, then they would not exist in nature, period. Mitharu's divine order governs all, even the Fae.